नमः। नारायण परिपूर्ण गुणार्णवाय विश्वोदयस्थितितोलय नियतिप्रताय ज्ञानप्रताय विबुधासुरसौख्य दुःखसत्कारणाय विददाय नमो नमस्ते। यो विप्रलिम्ब विपरीतमतिप्रबोधान् वादान् नरस्य कृतवान् भुविदत्ववादं सर्वेश्वरो हरिरीति प्रतिपादकं तम् आनन्दतीर्थमुनिवर्यं नमामि। पूज्याय राघवेन्द्राय सत्यधर्मरताय च भजतां कल्पवृक्षाय नमतां कामधेनवे। सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावतीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। माण्डुक्योपनिषदः शान्तिपाठः। ओम भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवांसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः। स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति न पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति न क्षार्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ओम शांति शांति शांति। Welcome friends, we are into the Mandukyopanishad, the second kanda, the most important mantra we are into. This is mantra number, in our sequence it is 7. The document which I have sent to you, the Chinmayananda document which I have sent to you, it is in page 18, I presume 17, 18. That Upanishad portion, that mantra we are into. It is a big mantra and this is the only mantra in the second kanda of Mandukya Upanishad. It is so important because this is the mantra which explains to us the highest status any being can attain in this world, or which is the goal for any human being who are born into the world, which is called the Turiya state. Turiya is supposed to be a so sacred and resplendent and mumukshatva, which all the acharyas have said, because finally the entire upasana, the purpose of upasana, all the rituals we are doing, all the seeking, manana, shravana, manana, nitidhyasana, whatever we are doing, the final goal will have to be towards Turiya. Turiya is the state in which we will be able to have a glimpse of the Paramatma, the superpower, the highest primordial power, and that is what the goal for this is. So in this context we have gone through the mantra. Just I will recite the mantra, just I will recap what we have discussed on this particular mantra for the purpose of continuity. The mantra I will just read it. Nanta pragyaha nahi bahish pragyaha no bayata pragyam na pragyanaganam na pragyam na apragyam adrishtam avyavaharyam agrahyam alakshanam achintyam avyopadeshyam एकात्म्य प्रत्ययसारम प्रपंचोपशमम शांतम शिवम अद्वैतम चतुर्थम मन्यन्ते स आत्मा स विज्ञेयः. So this is the long mantra and we have gone through the mantra and we have seen the first two words and we have also seen the second sentence also partly. Nanta pragyaha we have said just for the purpose of our recap. Nanta pragyaha, it is not the anta pragyaha, na anta pragyaha. It is not the latent impressions in our mind which comes in our dream stage. We have discussed in this entire Upanishad. The entire Upanishad tries to tell us how we can make our life glorious, and we can also be part of the highest power who has been always with us in everyday life, right from our waking stage, dream stage, deep sleep stage. Because this is what the one we are doing right from the birth, and this is what continuously we are doing now, and this is what we will be doing till our last breath. So the waking, dreaming and deep sleep, these are all the stages in which in variety of ways we are come to experience. In the waking state, Jagratastana, when we have got, the entire waking state, when we are interacting with the world, Jagrutasthana, we are getting into Stula book. Whatever is the gross world, we are interacting with that. So when we are interacting with, we also said how we are experiencing the world. Ekona Vimshati Mukaha. So we have got about 19 phases. Just for the purpose of recap, we have got 5 Karmendriyas, 5 Pranendriyas, and 5 Jnanendriyas, and we have got 4 Chitta, Ahankara, Buddhi, and Manas. All the 4 together, it makes Ekona Vimshati Mukaha. Vimshati is 20, Ekona Vimshati, 1 less than 20, Ekona Vimshati Mukaha. These 19 phases are the 19 through 19 equipments that has been provided to us. We are trying to gather the experience of the world. Through that, how you are going to internalize and elevate yourself, that is the purpose of this Upanishad. And you are not going to do anything other than this waking, dreaming and deep sleep in our entire life. But we will be doing in a variety of ways wherever, depending upon the place. Kala, Desha, Vartamana, where depending upon where we are there, at that point of time we will be doing it then. So, na anta pragyaha, when we said it is not the latent impression which is causing you the dream. The dream state, you are not in contact with the world, but you are contacting in your latent impressions of your mind based on what you experienced earlier, or what you have read, or what are all the experiences which must have registered in your mind. That is what we are trying to find, the latent impressions of the world, which is in the dream state. Now, Bahipragyaha, external world. External world is when you are interacting with the world, everyday experience. As you are spending the day in variety of ways, maybe in your office, maybe in your normal course of life, maybe in your day-to-day interaction, in Vyavaharika world, how you are spending, you are supposed to be getting the experience and they are all accumulated to you. And we also said, because the waking state and dreaming state, there also, because we have got the individual level as well as the cosmic level, that Vyashti level and Samashti level. Vyashti level, we are all called in Jagrutasthana Vishwanaraha, and with the Samashti level, I think it is being called as the Vishwarupa, that is the Vyapta, is the highest level. And Vishwanara, we are Vishwa, we are interacting with Vishwanara is another important, he is the one. Vishwanara is the highest power who is giving us every ability to experience this world, to understand the world and accumulate the experience. But how we are going to experience, how we are going to accumulate, depending upon our vasanas, our attitude, our tendencies which we have built, which we have brought from the earlier birth, all those things happens. So is the case in dream world also. Depending upon our tendencies, depending upon our aspirations, the dream comes to us. And what we aspire and what we try to become, we become. So because a person is a making of his mind. Whatever your mind says, you are the same persona. You are the same personality. We may be having same 2 legs, 2 hands, 2 eyes, 2 ears and all. But the personality when it comes, it is our internal manifestation of what we have undergone, what we have experienced, that is what is coming about. And we also, because this mantra also, no Ubhayata Pragyam. Ubhayata Pragyam is between the waking and dreaming state. And there is a state, in which, you will be little away from the world, you will be semi-dreaming, somnambulistic. When you are just given anesthesia, the first few minutes, you will still be feeling the world, you will be hearing the sound. But you will not be able to interact with the world. But at the same time, you will have latent impressions in the mind. Your mind will be producing series of images. That is, I said, Bhayata Pragyaha. It is called the in-between status. That is there. And we also, the Pragyana Ganam. Pragyana Ganam is Sushupta Sthana. When you are in a deep sleep. When you are into the deep sleep, what happens? You are totally into yourself. You are totally out of this world. You are having an absence of knowledge. You have an awareness, but that awareness comes only when you are getting up after the sleep. During the sleep, it is not there. You are almost closer to a stage where we are not you are being considered yourself as a father. You yourself don't feel you are a father or a son or a husband or anything else. You are in such a deep sleep. That is what eko mukaha. And in the cheto mukaha. So eki bhutaha. So you are all one. In sleep, if you see, entire world, everyone, wherever he is sleeping, he is out of his body, he is out of his latent impression, he is in a supreme state, but he doesn't have the knowledge of anything, but other than the awareness, that also comes only after he gets up. So this is the three states. This is the only Upanishad, and this is the only scripture. Anywhere in the world, anywhere in the sort of other scriptures or religion, it takes the man's or human being's everyday experience and brings it to the fore to explain the highest supreme power, how you can elevate to the highest possible elevation you are capable of. This is basically sort of enabling us to do that. This is what we have seen, like the Pragyana Ganam, and we also said Na Pragyam. Even if you are conscious and if you are doing all the meditation and you are trying to go into Samadhi, he said Sampragyata Samadhi. Sampragyata Samadhi is the one where you are just totally into what you are doing with a full concentration. At the same time, you are available at the call of the world. You will be respond to the world. You will be respond to the worldly affairs also. So when you are doing the Sampragyata Samadhi is the highest one where you are able to excel. Your total concentration is what you are doing and all. We explained a few sort of instances of a Sampragyata Samadhi, because where we have said, extraordinary human beings, how we have admired them, how they are capable of it and all. So in the Samadhi also we discussed two cases, two sort of streams. One is Sabija Samadhi, where you are having an object and concentrating the object. Normally when you do a meditation or Samadhi and all, you take the Pranava, Ganesha, or you take Ganesha or any other your Ishta Devata or anything which you are considering to be highly spiritual, you take that as a concentrating object and you are trying to do the Samadhi. By doing that in Samadhi, what we have got, to get into Samadhi or meditation, we have got 8 steps. That's what we recollected. The first one is Yama. Yama is observing whatever is around. The Niyama is the one is trying to be, finding out the internal thing. The Niyama is the procedure, trying to bring it into a discipline. Whatever you are observing, you are trying to bring your discipline. And once you do that Niyama, Yama, and once you are doing asanas, the asanas are the ones which are being practiced by all the yogic gurus and the people before going into meditation. You have to have Padmasana, they say, and you have to say, you have to keep your hung, the mudras, what they say, the mudras and asanas, they do have a specific meaning, bringing the bodily concentration and focus on a particular thing. That is a Sabija Samadhi. And then we also talked about Nirbija Samadhi. Once you elevate from Sabija Samadhi, and when you are getting into the highest state, the Nirbija Samadhi, you don't need even an object. You will be getting into the Samadhi, and at that point of time, you will not be thinking about anything. Your mind will not have any thought. So when you are doing meditation and Samadhi and all, you are having concentrated thoughts coming in streams. It is said that we are getting 60,000 to 70,000 thoughts per day. So once you are having 60,000 to 70,000 thoughts per day, what finally, you are getting a stream of thoughts, you are not able to concentrate whether this thought or that thought. But if you really try to analyze, this is what the psychoanalytic and the neuretics, who are neurosurgeons or neuroanalytics, what has come to say about 90% of your thoughts or 95% of your thoughts repetitive. You don't have to do anything. What happens is initially when something is new, you try to, like cycling, you try to learn cycling. First few days, you will find, so much of excitement and you will fall and you will also feel whether you will be able to really know cycling at all. You will be able to get the knowledge or the skill of cycling. But after a week, after 10 days, once you are used to, it becomes a second nature. You don't have to take a specific effort to cycle. You just see a cycle and you just sit on and ride. That's all. It becomes a second nature. The to the extent till you become a practice and take into a skill, your mind works, your conscious mind works, and in the conscious mind, you are unskilled initially, it makes into a conscious skill. Once the skill comes, and once that it becomes a second nature to you, and you don't have to worry about it. You will continuously be doing it. And what happens? It will almost become a routine. Your mind doesn't have to exert. When you see a cycle, you don't have to think how you have to pedal, how you have to sit on that, because you know it by practice. Like driving a car. First time, till such time you are learning and mastering it, you will be trying to wonder, how to do it. First time when I went for driving, I thought, why these fellows have kept 3 clutch, gear as well as the brake. I need only 2-3 fellows have to operate, how one person can operate. But once you have known, once you have become, and if you see how to drive, you will just be driving just like that. It is a second nature. It is a left-hand job. You will just be doing like that. It is like that. So what happens once it becomes a nature? Like every day, whatever we are doing, it has become our second nature. It has become a habit. So what we do is, we simply go by our habit, what it is being dictated. What happens? All these habits, they get stored into cerebellum. It is cerebellum is somewhere just about the cerebrum. The Tanduvadam we call it in Tamil. For that, you don't have to exert the brain. You have already known by practice. So what we are doing is, every day when we are routinely doing what we are doing, our mind is kept unused. One of the greatest proverb, what is being said, either you use it or lose it. This is true for everywhere. So unless you use it, you will not be able to get it. So when we said napragyam, when we are able to get the knowledge, and when we are trying to do the meditation, and when we are doing the Nirbija Samadhi, when we said, the greatest exponent of Nirbija Samadhi, Arjuna was supposed to have practiced his archery with Nirbija Samadhi, so that he didn't have any other focus other than the eye of the bird. He just have to hit it, because he was in the Nirbija Samadhi. Even the current in our lifetime, the Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, the Ramana Maharishi, as well as Swami Vivekananda, they are all supposed to have achieved the Nirbija Samadhi. And for them, they have practiced so much, they don't need an object. But we being the ones who are not used to the techniques of meditation, we are not used to, because we don't have any mystical experiences. We don't claim to have a mystical experiences, but mind, there could have been lot of wonderful experiences which might have happened in our lifetime, which we may not be aware. You may have, yes, with Amarnath, you have got a query, I believe. Can you repeat it? It was not audible.
Are you able to hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, they say that some of these things, when you chant over a period of time, after that, for example, if you keep memorizing Vishnu Sahasranama,
Correct. Correct.
Even when you are sleeping state, some of these things keep coming back to your mind, right?
Correct.
They say that those kind of things that get embedded into your DNA. Have you read it?
Yeah, certainly, because what happens is these mantras, they go and, because once they get registered, every time when you are, it takes you the awareness of the consciousness or aware of the Paramatma comes, once it becomes a second nature. And whereas when we are doing normal day-to-day activities, and because when we are doing by routine, like, brushing or going out or discussing with seeing WhatsApp, or seeing anything else, it becomes a routine. It propels you to take that in. At that point of time, what happens is, your mind is little less or almost not used. So what happens is, what the psychologist habit. So that is why Rabindranath Tagore, in his famous song, when he said, in the Gitanjali, when he said, in the desert of dreary dead habits. The God, take me out of this desert of dreary dead habits. What happens is when you consciously work on something, because you have taken a decision that you are going to learn Sanskrit. What happens that during the period, half an hour or an hour and a half when you are learning Sanskrit, your mind works, it creates new paths of knowledge. It creates, because it has got a billion cells. All the billion cells, they work out the network. As we are successful in the world when you are having a network, your mind and you are successful when the mind is able to create the network. When you are trying to focus something, which is exciting when you are doing it, you are creating lot of new paths. So what happens is your conscious mind, which is just about 5% they say, even if it is goes by 1% or 2%, that becomes more elevated, because your habitual things, you are trying to reduce, you are putting more onto that. See, for instance, I would suggest, one particular TED talk, when you have the time, you can listen to that. This is a wonderful TED talk by a very young person. I was surprised. The name of the person is Bhakti Sharma. She is a free-water swimming in the sense she swims all over the world in all the 5 oceans. She has swam and she has created Bhakti Sharma, Bhakti Sharma. You see the TED talk. It is an Indian TED talk, where Shah Rukh Khan comes and hosts, it is like that. So in that, that girl, I was surprised. She is just about to reach 30 or less than 30. She has sang all those things. She said every time she tries to swim the ocean, there is always, it is not that, people are discouraging, because normally the people, I think it's better that you go for Olympics and you try to do something else. Why do go into ocean? People discourage you and people do all sort of things. But she is single focused. She had the encouragement from the family as well as her well-wishers who were going ahead. But she said the biggest enemy is when you are in the broad ocean. She had a record in Arctic at 1 degree Celsius. She has created a record. She has almost swam for closer to 45 minutes. It is supposed to be the record. In Antarctica and Arctic, she has swam. And there she said the biggest enemy is she herself was feeling whether she is skilled enough to do that. Whatever skills she has accumulated, will it be able to do that? What will happen if she fails? See, when all those thoughts come, negative images comes, then she has, hold on, no, whatever come what may, I will do it, I have got the strength, See, this happens, however skilled you may be, however good you may be, the self-doubt comes. Self-doubt is the biggest enemy. She was wondering, because even the sharks were going by her side, because Arctic and other places of ocean, she has swam in Pacific, she has swam in Atlantic, everywhere, she said, all the big, starfish is going by. You are supposed to be, you are exposed to all dangers. In spite of it, the biggest enemy is not these things, it is in your own mind. So when she said, I am trying to do, I want to focus, somehow I try to gather myself and do it, that is the biggest ability. So what I do, because when I do it, I just always think, I will be a newer version of myself. I am renewing myself. I am a new person, new mind, new thoughts. I am elevating myself to a higher level. So when she thinks like, that is what, we were discussing, in this Upanishads in the earlier sessions also. We have got a particular word, Tattvavada called Nichocha Bhavam Gataha. You have got an innate strength. You can grow to your innate strength to the highest potential. But are we doing it? This is the Upanishad that enables you to do that. Because about, like Hanuman didn't know his power till such time Jambavan told him, you are capable, and all. He didn't do. He was like us. He was just nonchalant. Am I? Can I? This 100 yojanas, will I be able to cross? He didn't know. But Jambavan had to tell him, you are capable. Your capability is there. So when you are trying to have the meditation or these type of things, you get a confidence. The self-doubt slowly goes off. Self-doubt can't be erased. When you're doing new thing, even Sanskrit when you are doing, you may still not be satisfied, what you learned so far. I could have learned, because that thirst is there. Trishna vichetavad. It creates the continuous thirst. And what happens? See, you are not satisfied, till such time you get that. Once that comes, your mind will be having so many networks in your neurons, the billions of neurons. You will find, your thoughts on other things will come down. Your time spent on WhatsApp will come down. Your time spent on, your mails or other things will come down. And you will try to, whenever you get an occasion or a time, you will try to focus on, what is that, that we are trying to learn, why can't we do it? Even if we are going to do, why can't we take some text and see, how it is there? Likewise, the propensity comes. So once that continuous, you are a seeker or you are a learner throughout the life, you don't have to be learnt or you don't have to be a guru. But you have to be a seeker, you have to be a learner. All of us are like that. We are all continuing to be seeker. Otherwise, we will all be like jadas only. Because it is as good as doing the things by habit every day. What is it is going to take us? It is not going to take us nowhere. But whereas when you take up something new and apply your mind, go into full focus, and then slowly it creates, once it has the kindled interest in Sanskrit, or once you know it, you will know, it sky is the limit. You know how much you have to learn and all. So the same Newton's words, we will have to recall, sitting on the seashore. He said, the vast ocean lies unexplored. We are still picking up pebbles on the seashore. This is what, we are doing. Whatever we are doing, we have learned, I have to do that, I know that, and all. Whatever I am doing is still zero. Because, zero is still to be defined. We are not able to define zero. Then we are trying to find the infinity. The infinity is something, at least it gives us a glimpse, what is the possibility you can do. When you are doing meditation, all other upasana, that takes you to that. And therefore, what happens is, we have got unconscious mind, which always, subconscious mind is almost 90 to 95% of our being. 5% to closer to 10%, depending upon the capability by which one has developed these networks in their mind, they are capable of doing it. Rest of it is being taken by the subconscious mind. But when you are unconscious, you are totally innocent. You don't know whether it is good or bad and all. The subconscious, when you are doing by habit, even when you know something is not good, because even though taking, this particular thing is, I am a diabetic, I should not take a sweet. But if I see a sweet, I get tempted. What is there if I take one more? Today I will take it. So why can't, I couldn't discipline my mind, because I could take it. What happens, even though you know it is not good for you, still you try to take. What that makes it to you? That is what we saw in Upanishad. Keneshitam pratati preshitam manaha. Despite the fact I know it is good, not good, how my mind took me to there. And then, manashavati na sakshut, because you will not be able to see from your eyes, because someone is operating your eyes. You are not hearing from your ears, someone is operating your ears. Once you are trying to focus on that power, once you get into the internal journey, then you are able to bring the Shravana, Manana, Nitidhyasana, discipline it comes. When the discipline comes, you become a spiritual being and you become a resplendent being, going beyond that. So this is exactly what the na-pragyam, na-apragyam. Na-apragyam also we said, because it is the lack of knowledge, not the nescient, the absence of knowledge. The absence of knowledge is not like that. He gives the knowledge once you attain a particular level of that giving up your things. See, in the meditation and samadhi, what you do, you are trying to 60 to 70,000 thoughts, of which 90% is repetitive. Let us say 55 to 56,000 thoughts. You are trying to slowly neglect. You don't all work on that. If I simply sit idle, even if I don't need, I think I have to take some cup of coffee. I don't need it. But I am sitting, okay, why can't I take a cup of coffee, do something, watch TV, something like that. It is all taking you to uncharted course. And it is not adding anything to me. Whereas I have got so many things. That is what this Bhakti Sharma says. When she is not swimming, when she is back into the shore, and when she is in the normal day-to-day life, every minute he thinks, am I doing something worthwhile? Because am I doing something? No, because that continuously, because having gone into the sea, she is thinking what is the next channel, she can, English channel we can cross, or whether she can go into the Europe and do that, or Middle East, the ocean is little different, whether I can go and do it. So likewise, she continuously thinks, that elevates her. So once your own swabhava, once your own skill, what you are endowed with by the Almighty, so that can be propelled and developed to a highest level. That is what na pragyam, na apragyam. Now apragyam is not that absence of knowledge. Once you get that, he gives the divine knowledge at that level. You will be able to realize, because those muktas, like Ramana Maharishi could realize what it is, but Ramakrishna Paramahamsa could go to the image of Kali and he lost himself. When he has lost himself in the sense, all the thoughts have been brought to nullity. When you are doing it, you have got 60,000-70,000 thoughts, bring it down. Once it comes slowly, what happens is, it is that one thought which will be lingering. Even that one thought slowly goes off. Your mind is available to the superpower. It is, you are not empty, your mind is available. That bliss what you are getting in the samadhi state, it is what they have told. None of us have experienced. It's all what they have written, what they have seen. That is what this mantra says. That is the stage when you will get the fourth highest stage, Turiya, what they call it. Turiya is the stage where you are not in contact with the bodily contact. Almost nothing with your mind, body and intellect. Body, mind and intellect. At that point of time, you get a glimpse, a sort of a flash. That is how you are able to get in touch with that greatest power, that Turiya. So that is the most important. See, this concept is very important. In Advaita, what it says is, just I want to give the difference. And so that we understand how this greatest concept has been adopted by respective philosophies. In Advaita, once you get this particular stage of Turiya, there is nothing else. You don't have to know anything, because you yourself, Aham Brahmasmi, that is the Mahavakya in Advaita. It is a Upanishad Vakya. That Vakya has been taken as a Mahavakya and propounded, the Advaita philosophy. When they say Aham Brahmasmi, once you know you are the self, you are the highest power, because at that stage you have seen, then you don't need anything else to the world. There is no second thing in the world. That is the highest thing. In fact, Advaita doesn't mean non-duality. It is non-secondness. There is nothing second. But the non-secondness comes in other philosophies also, but a different way and all. In Tattvavada, when it comes non-philosophy, he is the one. He is the only one. He is Swatantra. All of us are dependent on him. Whatever we get, even the body is dependent on him, the mind is dependent on him, everything is dependent on him. He is the one who is activating. See, he is Atma, Paramatma, and we are the Jivas. We have to take the benefit. We have to surrender ourselves totally. So that is what Vishnadvaita also says in a different way. Surrender in the sense, you give all actions whatever you are doing. So this is going to take us into the highest concept that is going to be coming, as we will be seeing it. Then we will see the rest of the four words which we have seen, highest words. Adrishtam, he can't be seen. He can't be seen in the sense he is not visible to our naked eyes. He can only be realized in a flash when you are going into the total meditation. So it is not that meditation, always you will be able to do that. But even when you are doing with a total devotion or total concentration on anything particular, you are focusing on that. That itself is when you are able to realize through your skills. He comes in the form of skill. That is what the Bhagavad Gita also says. It is interpreted that way. That skill and the efficiency that you are getting, that is such, you cannot be, you can say happiness. Can you show happiness? None of us can show happiness. It is a feeling, it's an emotion. It is an emotional intelligence. By developing our conscious mind, what we are developing is our adrishtam, which are all invincible. Emotional intelligence we are increasing. More we increase our emotional intelligence, we become super being. Otherwise, we are all conventional being doing the routine things. And achintyam avyopadeshyam, you will not be able to give us a upadesha, how we will look like. Is not graspable or teachable. You cannot do that. That is what in Kenopanishadam is said, na vidmo na vijanimo. The Guru says, Neither I know nor I can make it known to you. I can only tell you the ways by which you yourself can do it. The Upanishad always looks for that you have to work on yourself, bring about the change in you. That is how you will be able to elevate yourself, glorify yourself, you will be able to realize your full potential. Nichocha bhavam gataha, what they said, you will be able to realize full potential, flourish and flower into whatever is possible. And then avyavaharyam, we said, he is not transactable. You will not be able to, like, in normal world we say, you go to the temple and do upasana for this, you do this puja, that will happen and all. They will all happen. But they will all happen by change of your mind. If you are opened up your heart and to change. Otherwise you will go to this place and spend money and come back and you will be same like that. You will only be cribbing, the other fellow has gone, it has happened to him, I went there, it didn't happen to him. How it will happen to you? He has surrendered. See, in this context only, I want to bring about one Anup Jalota's latest song, On of You Matagun. Kaun kahta hai bhagwan aate nahi hai. कौन कहता है भगवान आते नहीं हैं? आप मीरा की जैसे बुलाते नहीं हैं. Meera has surrendered. She didn't bother about family. Even the Rana was, she could even be executed because her behavior was totally towards Krishna. So she was able to do it. कौन कहता है भगवान खाते नहीं हैं? You are giving Naivedya. Has he ever taken it? Only, because we feel, we have taken it and the bhava is there. Of course, like reading a book, you get the knowledge. The book is still there. The knowledge is still there in the book. But its knowledge has not gone out of the book. You have learnt, it is still there. It is something which is internalized. Like Naivedya also, God takes it, we take that. That is the bhava, we take it. कौन कहता है भगवान खाते नहीं हैं? आप बेर सबरी के जैसे खिलाते नहीं हैं. Like Sabari, what she gave, you are not giving with that bhava. She is a tribal woman, at least, though she is a jnani, at that particular context, she was in the form of a tribal woman, serving only God and looking for God and waiting for God. We don't have that time to wait. We don't have any time to wait for our own people. And कौन कहता है भगवान सोते नहीं हैं? See, because everywhere, you will find, at the end of the day, they are all singing songs to put God into sleep. आप माँ यशोदा के जैसे सुलाते नहीं हैं. You are not having that bhava. How it can be there? So this mantra explains only those bhavas. It is mantra, tantra, upasana, yaha, yajna. We can do hundreds of things. But none of them will come to our rescue unless we surrender ourselves. That is exactly that avyavaharyam, agrahyam. You will not be able to grasp. It is not something to be grasped, or like a knowledge. Or you don't go to your school and where you are gone. Even if you go to your school, as Guru has said, na vidmo na vijanimu, he will give only the direction. And alakshanam, you will not be able to describe him. You will not be able to put it into a framework. You will not be able to put into limitations. He is limitless. Gunaparipurna, he is Jnanananda. How can you put him into limitations? He is alakshanam. Achintyam, you will not be able to put into your thought also. You will not be able to think over him. He is beyond your thought. He is beyond the known and unknown. As we have seen in Kenopanishad. We can't do that. Avyupadeshyam, you will not be able to be given by knowledge by Guru. or you will be able to get through any other means in the world. This entire jnana, what we are trying to get, it is so subtle a thing. How is this jnana so subtle a thing? If you see, there is a very famous bhajan in Hindi, Rang De Chunariya, one bhajan is there. It is by Anup Jalota, you might have heard. In that bhajan he says, how, because jal se patla kaun hai. See, water is flowing, it is very thin, it doesn't stagnate in one place unless you hold it, but once you open it up, it goes off. All the knowledge is like that. When you are having the satsanga, we will be able to feel, yes, that we are having this knowledge, we have got it and all. Once you come out of it, if you try to recollect or if you try to imbibe, 99% would have gone. That is why they said, it's only Shravana, but Manana, constant regurgitation, think over again and again. Unless you do again and again, you will not be able to, you will not be able to grasp, you will not be able to understand. So, jal se patla kaun hai, jal se patla jnana hai. It is not that you get once and it is going to be there. It will be there, provided you practice, imbibe. Your neurons get networked. They are able to be stable in your consciousness, in your cortex. Neurocortex, it is stored. It is in your chitta. You will not be able to have it. That is what, they say, jnana is jal se patla hai. And then, because that is how, the entire our day-to-day, it comes. When you are trying to get the Shravana, Manana, Nitidhyasana, what being a Satsangam? Satsangena Nirsangatvam, Nissangena Nirmohatvam, Nirmohatvena Nichalatatvam, Nichalatatvena Mumukshatvam. Because these things comes by practice getting into all the 4 stages. We have discussed already. Satsangena Nissagnatvam. You don't get attached in the sense, you do everything with the same sincerity and concentration. But you are not going to look for something, out of that. You will still be working on that continuously. So that's what we have said. And with that, the bhava, with that, because jnana is something which goes off. That's why great professionals, they always say you have to constantly work on, because even if you are a lawyer, it's not good enough. Even if you are a Supreme Court lawyer, unless you constantly study, if you know, or most of us may be knowing or not knowing, a Supreme Court judge has to go through not less than 2,000 to 3,000 pages of document every day before he takes a decision. These are all variety of things. Some are, taxation acts, some of them are constitutional things, some of them are civil side, some of them are religious side. But they have to continuously update them. Otherwise, they will not be able to do justice. And their judgment will prove what type of a judge they are. They will be remembered. They will not be taken seriously by the society or their own community. That's why one top lawyer used to say, your profession is like a jealous mistress. If you don't, it's jealous mistress. If you don't look after her, she will leave you. It is like that. You have to constantly working. The jnana is like that. So therefore, this jnana we are able to get by constantly working on it. That is why they say adrishtam and all. It will be adrishtam till such time we are able to develop ourselves and reach the stage. Once you are trying to teach the mukta, when you are able to take out the body, mind and intellect, then at that point of time, he will be visible. But this is like that. This is a constant practice. Whether we are going to attempt it, we may be attempting in our own way. The Kali Yuga, the best thing is Nama Shravana. As Amarnath was telling, you are reciting mantras, the mantra becomes part of you. Even in sleep, you may be able to recite. When it comes, what happens? When you are chanting the mantras internally or externally, it gives you some sort of a solace, calmness that takes you at that point of time when you are into yourself without any disturbance from outside world. That ekagraga chinta, when it is there, that is the awareness of the God. That is the shruti which has to go. That is the laya of the God. Once you are taking to that laya center, once you cross with that concentration, you are getting into a total bliss. Once you come back into the laya, you are coming into the deep sleep state, again dream state and waking state. And deep sleep state is like a seed. Every night you sleep, next morning the seed again opens up, you come into the waking state, with all your thoughts come, you do the things, dream and go back. The cycle goes on. But once you constant practice, once you do, because by having all these things in your mind, by submitting yourself internally to you, to the great power within you, not to anyone else, once you do it, you will be able to cross the laya center yourself. You will be able to realize yourself, and there you will be able to see, what type of a superpower the Paramatma is there. This is what we have seen. And we came into one of the most important words in this mantra, Ekatmya Pratyaya Saram. Ekatmya Pratyaya Saram, in the sense it is made of 3 words. Eka Atmaya Pratyaya Saram. Eka is the only one. The Turiya, the highest power, is the only one. There is no one else. We are all manifestations in different way. As we have seen in the earlier descriptions, he is also called as prana. Prana, in the sense, prana is 3 kinds. One is Mukhya Prana and Madhyama Prana and Adama Prana. The Mukhya Prana is the Almighty, the superpower. He is called, because Veda gives him different names etymologically. And Madhyama Prana is Vayu, what we call the Prana, Pranavayu, and Prana, who is all the Pranendriyas, Prana, Apana, Vyana, Udana, Samana, all these things, he is the Prana. Adama Prana is we are all pranis. Because of Prana is keeping us going. Because of Prana we are all able to do what we want. So we are all called Adama Prana. We are the one, of course. Therefore the Adama Prana effort is through Madhyama Prana and then connect to the Mukhya Prana. That is how the Tattvavada says, Hari Sarvotamaha, Vayu Jivotama. When they say, that is how you are able to elevate. That is one approach. So that is how it is. Ekatmya Pratyaya Saram, he is Eka. He is full of knowledge. And Atma, he is the Atma in the sense, he is the one activates you. He is the one gives all the powers for you. He is the Kartatva. Without him, we will not be able to do that. So as Tattvavada says, he is always with you. Tava samipe vartate. Whether you are sleeping, whether you are swimming, you are doing that, or you are doing something else. Because he is everywhere. He is with everyone. He is enabling everyone to do that. So therefore, Eka Atmiya Pratyaya Saram. Pratyaya Saram in the sense is a Vishesha Jnana. His knowledge is full. Jnanananda Purna. What we are getting is Jnana that is also Jal se patla hai. वो निकल जाएगा. The moment you don't see, if I don't read Upanishad, this Upanishad or hear Upanishad for a week, slowly my concept, what I have learnt will go off. Once I go there, it will go off. But for him, he is always Guna Paripurna. He is always willing to give you the knowledge. He is giving you the knowledge. Pratyaya Saram. He has got the essence of it. And he is giving you the essence. He doesn't want to go through everything and all. Ekatme Prati, our entire job is to surrender and know. And once you surrender, he takes care. See, some people, they are very simple. They have not, they have not gone through the scriptures, Upanishad and all. They only one thing they know. I have left everything to the Almighty. I will do whatever it is. Let Him take care of. It's not only with the words. they feel, let me do, and with a total surrender, once you do, you will see they will certainly be getting, whatever, they require to be getting it, whatever they are destined. But even that they will not take it, very highly. Very simple people. They don't know. In villages you can go and see. They totally surrender. Because Murugan Pathakma, in Tamil, if you see, lot of people, Muruga Bhaktas are there. I have seen even people, they surrender themselves and they don't bother about it. But they do whatever they have to do. Keep on doing it. When you are doing that, what does it mean? That's what, because if you see chapter 18th, verse 66 of Gita, Sarvadharman parityacha mamaikam sharanam vacha. Once you surrender yourself, tan, man, everything and all, that I will take care of. You surrender irrespective of the fact, because this religion, that religion, or this philosophy, that philosophy, it doesn't matter. You surrender into me, in the sense, total surrender, but concentrate what you are doing. What you are doing, don't get reflect whether I am going to get this or whether I will not get it. If I don't get it, what will happen? What my wife will think, what my son will think, what others will think, my in-laws will think this. I don't think that. You just keep doing it and give it to him. And he will take care of it. It is his responsibility. See, this world is his. What is kara? Kara iti karmaha. Whatever we are giving it to the God. As the tax. Kara is, you might be knowing, kar, this kar and all, in Hindi, they call it tax. The tax is whatever you are doing for the benefit of others, the benefit of the people around you, for the benefit of yourself to the extent what you need and all, that is the tax you are paying to the super primordial power, Paramatma. That is karma. Nana janeshu sushrutaha karmaha. Anyone you find, he is having some problem mentally or financially or physically, whatever is possible, you try to help a hand. That is karma. That karma is the one, which is going to take it. That you will be able to do it only when you surrender yourself. Ekatma pratyaya sharam. That is what it says. This mantra has also been different interpretations in various philosophies. In Advaita, they say self is in the one which is, the consciousness is one is giving you the entire propulsion, is giving you entire light. Once you realize you are that self, that is the highest. So what will happen once you know that self, you will not behave, you will be at that level. So what is that, we are talking about karma and all those things and all. You have to see that you are able to goodness in everyone. Even people, whom you like or whom you don't like. So there is a goodness in you, because whoever you are feeling, when you are having a problem, you think you are only having the problem. The other man is jolly well happy. God has given him everything and all. But you don't know the battle he is fighting for. Every person you are interacting, you just don't know about the battle he is fighting for. Everyone has got a challenges to face. He is doing it. So once you know anyone, without any bias, once you are open to anyone and see whatever is best in everyone, and your best thing will be seen by others also. That is how the entire network of the world will come. Once you have that super positivity in your mind, there is nothing to be worried about. You will be happy. The happiness doesn't come sort of just like that, by being, in some place where you want to be, or getting the facilities, or equipping yourself with all the comforts. That is not going to be there. So I think in this context, I will try to quote, one particular small things. See, when we do meditation, whatever we are doing meditation is based on Patanjali Yoga Sutra. It has got about 195 to 199 sutras. That sutras, if anyone has practiced and understood and internalized, there is nothing more than that. One of the most important sutra, 33rd sutra of Patanjali, what it says, you need 4 things in life. This entire mantra attempts at that only. I am trying to bring that so that we understand more easily. In fact, we are able to appreciate what the mantra is trying to tell us. Maitri. 4 qualities we are supposed to. Maitri is the friendliness. You be friendly with even a stranger. Even a friendly with a person whom you think, he may be some sort of a danger. Because it's all your own perception. You don't know whether the person is really dangerous or not. Or whether a person is, likable or dislikable. Nothing is there. You don't know anything and all. Even when you know some person is, and he irritates you every time, don't bother about it. You try to be friendly. For meditation, the highest form of meditation, not only in our religion, the Buddhism has totally adopted these 4 qualities, or any religion worth the name, where their seekers have to attain the highest possible status of being the human being, having come to the Manushyatva. Manushyatva we have come after several births. As Shankaracharya has said, Durlabham Manushyatvam. Because in Viveka Chudamani he says, of thousands of births you have come to this Manushyatvam. Why do you waste them? So first you should have Maitri. The second is Karuna. You have to be compassion. So by compassion, don't think others will take it as a weakness. As long as you are strong, as long as you are imperturbable, as long as you can't be affected, agitated, Karuna, compassion, that you will have to have. Like Ahimsa Paramo Dharmaha, even Karuna is also supposed to be a Paramo Dharmaha in Jainism. Compassion you should have. And then Mudita. Mudita is joy, blissful in any presence, in any circumstances. Even if you are taking a food that you don't like it, but someone has given with love and affection, you try to take and try to inculcate the joy. Just because I don't like it, why did you give it not? But the person has spent the entire full heart she has put and brought it. Try to like it, have it. Or even if a person, someone, because you go across to a hospital, some of the sights are repulsive, you may not be able to see. People come with a lot of sufferings. And till then, we think, even if I have cold and cough, that is the highest suffering, I think. But if you go to hospital, I see how people are suffering with so many things and all. Try to have a compassion and try to have a joy, whether you can help them out or whether you can find. If you think you have to contribute something, whether they have got a trust or something like that, try to think of that. And that is the joy, and you be joyful yourself. Don't think of, I have not got this is not happening. Don't worry, it will happen. Because maybe I think, the path you have taken is not the right path. Maybe the mistakes have been committed. You will have to come back to that particular thing. So why do you bother about it? You don't bother about that. So you go about and do what you can do. And that is what it says. So that you have Mudita, and then the last one is Upakshanam. Upakshanam is never to be disturbed. Even if your child comes and repeatedly asks, your son asks for a mobile. When you say, when you think, you don't want to give him a mobile, these fellows are not riding, so carefully, I will not give it to you and all. He will show so many things. If you don't give a bike, he will go and borrow his friend's bike and he will go with that. And you will have to bring in to him. He has to be a responsible driver. And you also try to give him, what is that you can do likewise. So you should not be perturbed. You can have hundreds of opportunities in the house to be perturbed. But then once you show that you are patient and you are able to withstand that give you the enough courage, enough stability and enough self-confidence to deal with it. Because if you are perturbed, you lose yourself. And not only that, in that process you create chain of reactions. One reaction to another, one action to reaction to another reaction. It goes on, the ill will. And what it happens is physically, we will also see next week, it all creates the wrong enzymes, toxic enzymes in you. When all the enzymes get into you, get accumulated, and you becomes sort of a habit, and that habit formation is nothing but why it is difficult to take it out. These are all the toxins accumulated in our body physiologically. That is what the neurologists have tried to prove. So once it is come, you will have to remove that. How do you do that? By doing that, by focusing on that, how you can find out. Next week I will share the impossible story of how a man, by just working on his mind, he got himself fully cured. He came out of, he was to undergo almost 7 surgery, and in fact, he had to be fitted with Harrington rod, what they call, to your spinal cord, to be able to be little straight so that you are able to stand up. He was not able to even stand up. But he got cured, the entire thing, by applying his thoughts on his mind. Having the full positivity, he got about it. That is the wonderful thing we will see. We will be able to work on. When we are doing Ekatma Pratyayasharam, or when we are reciting the mantras, when it comes as the second nature in our mind, all that it focuses on is concentrating, it is focusing and activating our hormones, our enzymes. It is activating our DNAs. And we will see, how the structure, it works on. And once it is through, you will be disease free. And take it for granted, no medicine can be fully cure a person unless a person is willing to be cured. The doctor treats you, but the power inside you, with his grace, it only gets cured. The cure is not that. As we have said, in one of our earlier talks, when the medicine cures, it takes away the pains or symptoms, that is only 20%. The rest of the 80%, it is a sort of concentric circles. The first circle is 20%. The second circle is, you think, if I don't get cured, what will happen? Whether I will get this. If it is not cured, whether I will get, that fellow has got it. And Google says, Google is a sort of a friend, at the same time is enemy. For anything you go and see Google, it gives you 100 unwanted symptoms, 100 whatever has happened, and it also gives advertisement of hospitals who are waiting to treat you and they have got all the expertise. Why should you have all those things? So that it creates, therefore, if you reasonably, self-confidently use Google, it is a friend. If you don't use it, it is an enemy, taking you out of your own fulcrum. That's what it happens. So then the 20%, and extra the 40% is there. The balance 40%, the whatever is there, how others will think. Because you are living for others in this world. If I go and take a flat somewhere, it is not an area, where people will think, why did you not buy here? It is a better place. And why, if you are having a scooter, why don't you have a car? If you are having a car, why don't you have a SUV? If you have a SUV, why don't you have... Likewise, if you can't live for others. So the 80% is your own imagination, imaginary fears, and imaginary fears how others will think about you. The medicine only attempts 20%. That too, your allopathic medicines, they don't cure, they kill slowly your cells. That is why all of them have side effects. Now, of course, the allopathy has also realized they are also giving a complementary medicine so that you are able to come back. Otherwise, antibiotic was given indiscriminately. The antibiotic, takes away all your ability of the liver, guts, and all your other hormones. And your gut is straight away connected to your brain. See, if you are full, if you are little uncomfortable in your mind, you can't read a page in a book, not to talk of Upanishad discussions and all. If you are having a discomfort in your stomach, or if you are having a hunger and you are not able to get, you are traveling in a train, your mind will not go, where am I to go and get the next cup of tea or next cup of bread, that's what you will look for. So it has a direct interaction with the brain. So anything that goes into the liver and affects it, and it has an effect on your brain, thoughts and all. The conscious brain and unconscious brain, they are the one who are acting. Ekatma Pratyayasharam when you say, the conscious mind is totally taking, and your subconscious mind is dormant, is kept inactive. Your conscious mind takes you to the Paramatma. You are just in line with that blissful feeling that is going to be sustaining till such time you will not be willing to come out once you have such a feeling. By force, you will have to come out because you will have to respond to the world. Well, I think this is little, though it is abstract. For the purpose of recap, we have repeated most of the words we have discussed and all. I think I wanted to discuss so many other things, and having Amarnath, asked one of the fine questions. Likewise, I will also request you to tell me whatever doubts and other things or questions. We will be able to come out. This mantra is very important. If you understand this mantra, Mandukya Upanishad means this mantra number 7, which talks about Turiya, if you have understood, in fact, you have got most of the Upanishads Sara. Therefore, I would request you to see what it is. Whatever doubts, clarification, even if you want to comment, please do comment. Because these are all going to help us in our journey further. Today with this, I will try to close the session. In fact, I was thinking of having a small meditation. Anyway, next week we will do that. So that when others are also available, that every week, we will try to do 5 minutes, just a small meditation. And that will, whatever we are discussing, you will be able to have a feel of it. We may not be able to get everything. The feel of it, the sample, that's a sample. Once you know that, perhaps you may become a master and you can teach all of us likewise. And it is just to bring about a feel of it. We will do that. With this, I will try to conclude. At the same time, I would request you to give your comments or suggestions or queries, which will enable us to sort of go further into this journey. Amarnath, anything you have? Yes, Prabhuda, Krishnan sir?
Yeah, nothing.
Okay then. So we can, anyway, tomorrow wish you all a happy Vinayaka Chaturthi. And I think 15 days from now, 19th, we will also be having Ananta Chaturdashi also. Wish you all the very best. With this, we will close our session today. Sahana Vavatu, Sahanau Bunattu, Sahaviryam Karavavahaihi, Tejasvinavati Tamastuma Vishvidavahaihi. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Subham Krishnamaya. Hari Om Tat Sat.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And wishing everyone a happy Ganesha.
Thank you.
Thank you. Happy Vinayak Chaturthi to all. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.